Oh, for sure, it's a Monday. Boy, oh boy. So what we got going on is we got this Saturn Vue that we've been working on. We put a tranny in this thing a couple weeks ago. Oh, and then I had a heck of a time. Got it back out, got it all rolling down the road, driving sweet as could be. Put some new struts on it and brakes and did a whole slew of stuff. And then the very next day, the thermostat light started flashing, bloop, bloop, and it's red, and we all know what it means when we have a red light. Red is bad. That means stop what you're doing, because it's about to ruin the day and the image that you're used to. So what ended up happening was, when I pulled this transmission out of here, okay, I'm kind of a go fast as I can type guy, you know, sometimes anyways. I pulled the transmission out, I unhooked as little as possible. So when I got the transmission down and the engine down and I was starting to lift the body away, I noticed I had an electrical connection on the high side of my air conditioning still hooked up. Well, I popped that little puppy with my fingers, came right up out of there, no issues, forgot all about it. Then I take the vehicle out for a drive, everything's working smooth. I'm like, we need to redo this air conditioning because we can't sell a car without air conditioning in it. So I had the vehicle running, and I think that that's one of my problems, other than the other problem that I created for myself. Had that vehicle running, popped up that little switch again with my fingers because it was down right here in the exhaust and it's kind of hot. As soon as I did that, the fans kicked on, and I was like, huh, that's weird. They must have touched together. Well, they did. They touched together and shorted out the stinking ECM. But luckily for me, it was only about a $20 fix. I went down to the picky part, got me another ECM, plugged the ECM in there. Huh. Not so lucky for me, because it had an aftermarket alarm in it, which means that you cannot program a key to this vehicle with the aftermarket alarm. Now, this aftermarket alarm was down inside here, and it was kind of hacked in there. Now, obviously, I've hacked it out of there. But the problem was, I needed this little signal wire right here, which tells it to recognize the key. This box had its own recognition in it because it was a starter, so it could recognize it without the key. So I had to rewire that. No big deal. We got her done. Now, I'm glad to say it's back to the way it was before my bad fingers touched on that stinking thing. So hopefully you're not having as bad a day as me. The next thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna get the old Range Rover off of here. We got a timing issue with that thing we're gonna have to deal with. We're probably not doing that today, but we're gonna get it off here, and then we're gonna go down to Portage, Michigan, and we're gonna pick up a Honda Pilot for a guy. Guy got a hold of me on the old YouTubes here. We're gonna go down and pick up his Honda Pilot, put it on the back of the trailer, bring it up here, and throw a rear end in that guy. He's gonna be pretty stoked. So that's pretty much gonna take up most of the day. We're gonna do a little bit of cleaning, a little bit of housework, you know, like normal. But hopefully you guys have the best of days. I know I'm gonna have a good day, even if I gotta deal with all this junk. God bless. On our way down to Portage, Michigan, we passed by the 131 Motor Speedway. So we got the Honda all loaded up, and we're headed on our way back from Portage. Got a little bit of anxiety because I went to stop at a stoplight, and I thought I had enough time, and I slid right through it because the ground is a little bit wet. So we're gonna take it easy and be careful. Luckily, we got a lot of straighter way highway to drive on, so get this thing back and get it figured out. All safe and sound, made it back. Get this thing off the trailer now. So to test drive these puppies with carpety floor mats, take that sucker right out, flip that puppy right over so we don't get crap from the shop all over the floor. Normally when you're testing for a wheel bearing, and this has got a really distinct noise to it, you can take your arm and move it back and forth as you're driving at the speed, and you can hear the pitch change. That'll tell you if you have a bad wheel bearing. In this situation, he has like a growling, like a humming noise that's not even like a wheel bearing noise. So it definitely has a bad rear end in it. It was kind of hard to get it to do it at first. I thought the guy was crazy and I didn't hear anything, but then we started driving it down the road and heard the noise. Yeah, that's a really weird noise. Definitely sounds like a rear end issue.
So I ended up going down and getting me some quarter 4.7 ohm resistors over in Grand Rapids for a Sprinter project and a video that's coming up pretty soon where we're going to eliminate the problem with Sprinters and their intakes locking up and the swirl actuator motor locking up inside the Sprinter and see how that works. And we're doing a little test. We're taking down the oxidized wheels and try to get rid of this and paint them silver and see how that turns out. So that's another thing we did today.
So I would say for a Monday, it was a pretty successful day. Got a lot of stuff knocked out. Till tomorrow, see you later.